Yeah.
What do I feel?
Yeah. Well. Lieutenant. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the NoLidPodcast. As always, I'm Chris. I'm here with Jalen, Quinton, Chamella. You feel me? You back with another episode, bro. What's good with y'all?
What's good? What's going on, man?
How's everybody week? Come on, man. Let's get into it.
Shit, it's been pretty solid, bro. What about y'all?
My week been pretty cool. Long, but cool.
Man, my week just been busy for real. Just been working, straight working.
Same. I think my week has been really, really busy, bro. But like, I noticed that like something that really has been on my head all week, for real, has been like just me reminiscing like my past, how much I've grown. Like with me working so hard and like how I noticed everybody saying they were really working hard. It's like I felt like we're really getting into a space where we're really starting to like peep certain stuff and like really see how like our lives are changing, how we making it change by just working hard type. Right. So like that really stuck with me this week for and was like weighing on my head heavily, bro. Like it's been crazy.
Yeah, I agree, bro. It's kind of, especially going into like, you know, more so like an independent business, like with, you know, the photography stuff like that. It's like you really do kind of have to see how much really goes into it, because like every dollar you have essentially goes back into the business. So you really have to just make sure you're spending your money right, and, you know, already kind of looking ahead to what you can spend like in the future, like when it comes to, you know, putting back in your business, whether that's like getting like memory cards or more like lights or just a bunch of stuff that could just help you in the future. So I definitely think that starting that has really helped me understand it a lot more.
Yeah, you saying like, bro, like people, we have businesses, like photography is a whole business. We have our own businesses now.
Yeah.
Like just think about like when I know like when I was a freshman coming in, like I didn't think I was gonna have my own business.
Facts.
I didn't think I was gonna be in photography for real. So like the fact that we're here, it just speaks to like, damn, like you're really like your mindset, like your change, like really changes and goes, like and grows with like time, like tremendously. But like I honestly, like my freshman year, I peeped at like I had learned so much within like a semester. I was like, damn, like this shit is crazy, like for real. But like the closer we get to like graduating, it's like, dang, like I'm really seeing it, and it's crazy that we like, and just not just us, but like our other friends are seeing it at the same time. Like we all have blessings coming our way. Like I know I'm seeing seniors now, like some of my teammates, like they might be scared, or like they might like not know what they want to do, or they're like, damn, like we finna get into the real world. And I know right now my mindset, I don't even want to be anywhere in that mindset when I'm about to graduate. Like I plan on already being like well offset, like set on knowing what I want to do. And I feel like my productivity and what I've seen like through steps along the way, I see that like happening, like for us. So I think we all in a great place, and it takes like being in, I think, a group of all productive people, like to really feel that energy for real.
So like let's touch more back on that history aspect of the things, though. I feel like the people may not like fully know, you know, at like what stage you guys are. You saying you're about to graduate and whatnot. People might not know like where we are at, you know, our standing, and you know, like you guys' history of photography, or when you guys did start that. So I just wanted to ask, like, what made y'all want to start? When did y'all start? When did it become like a thing that you were like, yeah, this is definitely like the way I'm gonna do it? Because both of y'all are pretty invested in it right now. So I feel like we should run that back a little bit more.
You want to go first? You want me to?
I mean, I'll go first. Actually, no, you can go first.
All right. My path to photography kind of happened, you know, as like kind of the same way as my way to film. You know, I took the class, you know, in high school with Bonds and stuff, and like just kind of that introduction to just content creating in general, you know, whether that's film or videos or just like photos and stuff, just seeing how much like stories you can tell with, you know, any of those mediums, and like learning the actual like production behind it, like that really opened my eyes. That happened. I took that class first in like 2017, and I didn't really decide that I wanted to like get involved into it until it was like 2018. So yeah, that's when I started like really learning a lot more, and I bought my first camera in 2020, like right when COVID happened. We got our refunds back from school, and I was like, I need the camera. I need that now. So I got the camera, And all the advice that I got from like teachers or just like mentors and stuff was just like, just go out and just shoot. Just shoot there. That's the best way you're gonna learn, just to go out and just shoot whatever it is. Just take 100 photos a day, like just get, used to it. And again, when people like hit me all the time, and I tell my mom this all the time, like, oh yeah, my son's a photographer. I'm like, no, I'm not a photographer. I'm a filmmaker, but I do photography because I still find enjoyment in it, and it pays really well. So
Some identity crisis.
Yeah. But yeah, then I started later on in that year getting like actual paid work, and then with the fellowship I got into last year, really kind of just helped me like expand that even more and build my portfolio. And then when I found out that he was getting into it, because he called me like, yo, what camera should I buy or whatever, and I was helping him get into it. And from that point on, it's just kind of been like, it's just been a real journey, bro. Like,
my journey,
it's crazy.
My journey been a lot different. Like I said, coming into school, photography was like not even nowhere near like what I wanted to do. But like during quarantine, like I take an exact moment it happened. Like it was a couple moments leading up where like I noticed that I would take pictures for my friends on their phone and stuff like that, and like it would become a common thing. Like, oh, I need flicks for the gram. I need Chris to take my pictures on my phone. And I was like, yeah, I like taking pictures. I really do. And it was my homie Christian's birthday, and I took his pictures like outside, like one day, and I seen like the sky and everything for real, and I was like, this is hard, and I needed a camera. And it was like right around Christmas time, so I asked my mom for a camera, and she got it because my mom actually like was taking pictures like a long time ago. She's been taking pictures for a minute, so she was like, yeah, I'll get you a camera. So I got a camera, and like. Just me, like, wanting to, like, make money and hustle for real, like, I was getting paid off rip. Like, I wasn't doing, I did a whole bunch of, I did a lot of free stuff, yeah, but, like, I was getting as paid as much as I could. And that was actually not, like, the advised way to go. Like, people advise you to do free stuff first, and I was like, I don't know about that one. So, yeah, but, like Jalen said, it was just, like, me going and shooting, like, I remember the event that really changed my whole entire viewpoint on like photography was when like we had this event at my school that the Qs in my school hosted, and like we took pictures. It was like a day party during the summertime, but it was like when quarantine was breaking open, like people were coming out of the crib and it was actually deep. And me and my homie Miles like started taking pictures, and like after that, I made like my homie Elliot made a collage of all the pictures I took. I sent all the pictures and it just blew up. Like, it just blew up, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do for real. So I started to go to more events, but all the events I did, those are free, I would say. So, because I just loved capturing moments. Like, yeah. I feel like a picture is like one of the most like important arts. Like, photography is one of the most important arts because, like, bro, you capturing moments of time like that you can't necessarily get back, and that like you might lose a memory, but when you see the picture, it's like, damn, I remember that. Like. And that's why I think it's just so hard. So that's really like got me into it, and that just like with me like lets me know that yeah, that's what I want to do. Like when I get out of college and stuff.
Interesting. So like, how do y'all go about the whole? Something I've been wondering. How do y'all go about the whole like price setting thing? You said that you were like trying to get paid off rip. How were you just starting out like setting your prices, or like did you have like a threshold or like?
Tell us damn to now.
I was charging like 20, like.
Oh, okay, just
like,
some money. Okay.
But in my head, I was like, if I get 5 shoots, that's $100. So I was just like, I just kept on thinking like, right. 20 is cool for right now.
Right.
Then after I changed my prices, like when I feel like, yeah, my price went up. So
okay, so it's like a self.
After the Q event, my price went up. I was like charging like 50 to 75, like. I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to charge right now. And then. When it got to like kind of closer like to the beginning of this year, I was like, yeah, nah, this is 100.
Yeah.
It's 100.
You gotta
and
it up,
like
bro.
Recently, I've been doing just trying new stuff on my camera, like doing like getting paid to go to events and like and take pictures and stuff like that. And I'm noticing like the improvement in my work, and specifically through like a little photo shoot that I did with my homie Lamy for his brand. And I was like, yeah, the price is up right now.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say the price.
Yeah,
gotta,
that should be.
Tap in to see.
Get at him.
Like yeah, like that's I say yeah, my price went up again. So it goes with that.
Yeah.
All right.
But I will say advice I would give to anybody starting a business like in general beyond photography, like know your worth and like stick to it. Don't Like, don't let nobody say you like, oh, that's too much.
Facts.
Like, it's always another person that would take your price. So,
Facts, bro.
Type shit. Well, shit, nigga. I hope y'all at least do like friend discounts or some shit.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The homies know they stay flipped up, so it doesn't matter.
For sure.
But like, I know we talked about ours and stuff like that. But like, I know we might y'all might find success differently than like having your own business or whatever. I know everybody has their different paths. So like for y'all, what is y'all paths and like how do you feel like you are right now as far as to getting to that goal?
I guess for me right now, my shit is kind of just like straight shot set in stone. There ain't really like too many like exciting points for me to touch on because I'm a pre-med, so I'm like just trying to go to med school obviously and eventually come out as a physician. I'm thinking specialization wise, maybe psychiatrist, ophthalmologist. I don't know, teetering between one of those two currently, but yeah. So I'm just kind of thugging it out, bro. Just in school, struggling. I mean, there ain't really much else to say about that. These science courses, they just be tough, to be honest. And, it's not the most fun. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's not the most fun in terms of coursework just because, like, being pre-med, a lot of your classes, like major level classes, are kind of already, like, set out for you. Most med schools require that you take a certain amount or a certain set of classes. So I don't really have too much, like, freedom or flexibility in terms of, like, the really, like, nitty-gritty interesting stuff that I want to do. Not to say I haven't done anything like that, but that is just kind of how it is generally for the roadmap. So, yeah, man, I'm just in school. Graduate next year. So I guess, yeah, that year or the following year, for sure, I should be in medical school by the grace of God. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, the path I chose to take, went to the military. I came back. I tried to get into school, but didn't work out that way. So I've been out of school for going on a year. I'm technically a sophomore based on my credits. And my path, I want to take the educational path because that's always been, I've always felt like that was my calling in life, just education and educating the youth coming up. And so I chose education studies, and that's the path that I want to take to build up the community eventually, So
I want to ask both of y'all a question, just kind of like similar to how you asked us. Have you always known, just both of y'all, like, this is what I want to go into, or was there a certain point that it was just like, this is definitely what it is now?
Yeah, so for me, at first, I was a political studies major, and then I witnessed everything with COVID and the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, and that kind of changed my whole outlook on politics in general. And it took me a while to figure out what I actually wanted to do until I actually sat back and thought one day, how do you change the world? How can you change the world? And I feel like education is one of those things that everyone has to start off with in order to become better. You get what I'm saying? So, but I realized about 2-3 years ago, education was the path I wanted to take.
Type shit. Yeah. For me, I feel like I'm kind of a special case in that I've always kind of known what I wanted to do, like from the word go, and it's kind of weird. I feel like the experiences that I've had after deciding that shit only like reinforced that, yeah, I definitely want to be a doctor type shit. Like, yeah, so like from kindergarten, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I've always known, like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a physician. There was no question about it. So yeah, it wasn't really ever anything much to think of. I've actually been trying to think of other things that I could do, or like maybe would have wanted to do if I didn't already had that like set premonition in my head. But nothing else like sticks. It's like you throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it's like good yet. But it's like nothing sticking for.
About that, like, so growing up, I used to say like I wanted to be a lawyer. Like my mom used to be like, yeah, like Chris is gonna be a lawyer. Like everybody who asked me, I said I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. And I'll never forget one day when I was like 12, 13, like me and my dad were going to this Hawks game, and like I was so excited to go to the game. Like I always love sports, and I'm talking to my dad about all the sports, like the stats, like the players, who playing, who not playing, they points per game, all that type of stuff. And he like, Chris, like, you ever thought about being like a sports journalist or sports analyst? I was like, no. Like he's like, look at what that is. And I looked it up and I was like, yeah.
That's the one.
That's the one. Like,
funny, bro.
that's the one, bro. Like that's definitely the one.
Sometimes you be having that moment. I feel like that moment is essential. Just like going through something or like getting that realization through an experience. Like I think about for me, I guess what really like solidified like this is what I wanted to do despite me just saying it. I remember there was this one night, and I was a kid. I don't know how like other people are, but I know some kids like suffer from like severe nosebleeds. I was one of those kids. Like I used to get like crazy nosebleeds randomly. I'll just be chilling. I'll be talking to y'all like right now. Nose just start bleeding. Like how? But I was dealing with that growing up and whatnot. And one day I remember specifically I had woke up in the middle of the night and I woke up and my nose was bleeding. Like I woke up from sleep, nose bleeding. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? But then again, I'm like kind of used to it at this point. So I'm like, all right, let me just do what I normally do, you know, tilt my head back, pinch the bridge and whatnot and all that stuff. So I'm doing that. And mind you, I'm very used to this by now. So it's not like I'm doing it wrong. Bro, I'm doing it and like 30 minutes is going by. All right, an hour goes by. Okay, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. My shit is still gushing. Like the moment that I like take my finger off my bridge and look down, it's like gushing like crazy. And I'm like, bro, it's been like 2 hours. Like, how is this like still possible? So basically, like I wake my mom up and whatnot, and she ends up like calling an ambulance because even she doesn't know. Like she's never even seen it like at this level and whatnot. So I get in the ambulance. This is my first time in the ambulance. That shit is kind of surreal. I'm not gonna lie. Like it really feels like yo, this is it. Like like am I gonna make it? But I'm talking about that over a nosebleed. But basically I get to the hospital and I'm over there like still kind of panicking because I'm thinking like at this point, you know, me having all these nosebleeds and whatnot, like is my nose even like okay? Especially if it wouldn't even stop this time. Like, you know, maybe this is something I'm gonna have to get like surgery for or, you know, something like that. And so I'm just in there and I'm like, you know, overthinking and like still trying to like get myself together. And then I just remember like the physician like peeks his head in the door and like he looks around and I'm like, who is that? Like, you know, like who is this person? And he's like, oh, like, you're still alive, bro? I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? You know, I was like, yeah, I'm hanging on. Like, he was like, oh man, yeah, that does look pretty bad, but it's really not that bad. Like, I'm about to have you out of here in like 30 minutes. I was like, what do you mean? You know, me over here, I'm still like panicking and obviously being a kid and whatnot, you don't know much about your body. So I'm just sitting there like, bro, there's no way. Like, I'm thinking like my nose is broken. Like, I have to go do all this stuff. And he even says like, yeah, I mean, there's like two things we could do. Like I could either like cauterize your nose and basically like do this minimally invasive procedure to like basically like stop the clot completely. And then or like we could just wait it out for a minute and I have a pill to give you. You could just take that and go home. And I was like, oh, I think I'll take the second option. So I did that and basically like I was fine. Like literally I took the pill, like 10 minutes later I was fine. And like I don't know, I guess it's more so than anything, I guess it was that experience of just like him turning like what seemed to be like my worst day into like a very simple situation, you know, especially just due to his like vast knowledge and whatnot, because I feel like that's where a lot of fear comes from anyways, just a lack of knowledge. So I guess I just admired that, and I see that a lot in physicians having the tendency of taking what seems like something that's just really horrible, bad, you know, like it's my worst day, what's gonna happen to me, blah blah blah, and having that power to just like flip it around. Right. And obviously it doesn't always go to plan, but for the times it does, like life changing for sure.
I mean, education for me has always been kind of a big deal for me. I came up, my mom's a teacher, and I was in a church my whole life. So it was like I was so used to learning something every day. If it was something about the Bible or if it was something about just school in general. And so it was like I'll say about third grade, I was in this program called Program Challenge. And a lot of the people I came up with, we were all in that program. And from there, I feel like my education really became a lot more fun, because they used to teach me stuff about theology. They used to teach me stuff about certain equations that, you know, third graders usually wouldn't know. And I even was able to learn about the stock market at one point. So it was like, I realized that information for me, I loved finding out new things. And still to this day, I sit there for hours and watch History Channel stuff just because it's like when you get to know everything about the world, things start to become more interesting when you actually learn for yourself. And then it's a lot of stuff that we don't know today that we need to know. And that's really where I got it from. It's a lot of education that we, not only as black men, as black people, but as people need to know. Like, we need to know this knowledge. Everybody needs to know. So.
I think that's like a really like major thing. That both of y'all bringing stuff up from like your childhood. I think if more people kind of like really went back to what they really love to do as children, they'd probably be more happier as adults when it comes to like pursuing careers and stuff like that. Because you get used to the real world stuff like that, and you feel like, oh man, this stuff would never, happen for me, or I can't do this or that, or just like, just pressures in general from even your own folks that'll make you want to like, do stuff more traditional and whatnot. So that dream dies at a certain point.
At the same time, though, I feel like that's our generation. Like our generation is veering towards doing stuff that they want to do. Like that's the majority of us. Like there's not much more of like not creative like thinkers going on right now. Like I feel like that's what our generation is like good at. Doing creative things and finding new ways to make revenue, make income, but doing it as they want to, and then being happy. Like,
right. And that's the move. And I feel like it's like, okay, in my case, like a lot of people may ask me like, oh, okay, like you want to be a doctor? Like, did your parents want you to do it? Like, is that what they're making you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. And it's crazy. Like almost everybody that I tell that, like that's the first question they ask. And that just goes to show like how it has been like ingrained in history of like, parents kind of just like
pushing that,
forcing what they would like their children to do into, their lives. And it's not really fair or good because it's like, it's your life at the end of the day. And, not to say you should just be like, F your parents. No. Like, I'm not doing what y'all want to say. But, like, in terms of, like, having a career and whatnot, like, you want to do something that's going to make you happy or you could find some type of joy in. So it doesn't make sense to let that be somebody else's decision.
Right.
It's a lot easier today because back then when our parents were coming up and stuff like that, there weren't really as many opportunities. And then on top of that, it's like usually success is based off of one thing. Like a lot of people see success is one thing, but today, like literally we know people that have made thousands of dollars off of doing hair, eyelashes, pictures, for like a whole bunch of stuff. You can literally do anything you want today. OnlyFans is literally a testament so you can do whatever the fuck you want and make money for it. It's niggas that go on there making money off of just posting toes. Like niggas like that shit. There's a demand for that shit. So it's like you can do a lot.
I kind of want to switch it real quick because I know you said what success is to people, right? And I know like for me, there's like 2 or 3 separate gears of like success. Or no, it's definitely 3. The first one is like in like a personal like type of way. My personal goals like being a photographer, doing whatever like in my life and career. It's career success. And then I know there's like success may be like in like finding a companion or a partner. And
life success.
I know that there's also like family success for me, right? So I know we touched on like the career and business part about success, but like what can y'all say like y'all have noticed or like what do you know has like changed from you or how have you grown like when it comes to those other 2 areas?
It's definitely been a lot. Starting from I guess just like family success, one of the things you mentioned is just seeing how important that comes, like especially in situations where you just never know. Like I remember one time in the summer coming into college, my uncle just hit me like, yo, Jay, you should come over and help me build this deck with me. You got the whole basement to yourself, whatever. I just want you to come help me build this deck. And I've never put together something like that before. So just learning like little stuff like that, I wouldn't have been taught if my uncle wasn't like that. And then also learning that family is what you define it as. Y'all are my family as well. So it's like just having y'all around and being able to take what it is that I can from y'all and, hopefully y'all do the same, get the same from me and just, I think that's just a major thing because as you're younger, you just stick it as blood family. This is it. But as you get older, you definitely can define your own. And
no, we didn't do that when we was younger because everybody was our cousin. Like, no, this is my cousin for real, my brother. Like,
I feel you. So what about y'all?
I mean, family success.
Yeah. Yeah.
Family success. I mean, for me, I've always had such a strong support system around me. So like my family has always been like, these are my brothers right here. That's always been where my heart is. My heart has always been surrounded around family. And in a way, that's my personal success. I want to be able to build a family for myself and become wealthy. I mean, look, we don't got to talk about realism and shit like that. That's just my goals. And I'm going to work as hard as I can and get to that point in my life to where I can fulfill everything and actually say that I'm successful. But when it comes to family, like my family, I've always loved my family. Everything has always been, my family has always supported me throughout anything. When I done fucked up big sometimes, I feel like we all fuck up big. And my family has been there to be like, all right, you fucked up, but you good. Like, you can bounce back. Yeah. So I've always been good on the success part of things. I feel like I'm going to be successful regardless. Yeah. God set me up. He set all of us up on a path that can't nobody stop. So.
Facts. I guess for me, in terms of family, like you said, I consider y'all family. I feel like I've been getting more in tune with, like, my family more so in, like, a broader aspect. I don't know how else to say that. Just me, like, being Nigerian. And recently, I went back to Nigeria, like, these past 2 years. And got in tune with, like, a lot of family back there. And obviously, like, that's home for real. So I feel like my outlook on family has just like expanded, like within a matter of like 2 to 3 years. Like, it's just like grown heavily. Like, what I do now and like my goals and whatnot, it's not only to support me, but like them, and not just like y'all as well. I consider y'all that too, but like even them back there in Nigeria and whatnot. So I don't know, man. I feel like family's everywhere. Family's around me. Family's always been here. Family's the reason that, you know, I keep moving. I guess I could say.
Yeah, for me,
my family would have loved it.
Yeah, for me, I would say family is like probably like the most important thing to me. 28. Family probably the most important thing to me. And I would say, like I said, like, of course, like all my friends, like, you're not my friend unless you're like family. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Type shit.
And like just like my immediate family, like we're all just tremendously close. We've always been a big family. Like, in my personal life, it's always been a huge part of that. And like, I take that, and I know that like when I eventually have a family, like I want to do the exact same thing. And I see like how when I was growing up, how my mom had all her friends and stuff together, like with a huge family. Like, I see that like with me and my friends and stuff like that, like growing up and like having those get-togethers and those outings and just reminiscing on times like this, and like where we learn like, yeah, this is the value of real family for real. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So I got a question. When it comes to your personal life, this is an on-the-spot question. What is one piece of knowledge that you learned that you've been able to apply to your growth up to this point? What's the best advice you've gotten in order to get to this point where you're at right now?
I'm trying to make it quick. I think we only got like a minute of camera time left.
Yeah. Niggas asking essay questions. Go ahead, bro.
I would say me just to like, if I could go back and give myself any advice, like anything I'm doing now would just be like,
just the biggest thing you learned.
the biggest thing I've learned.
Yeah,
just
like
just
to
be patient. Just to be patient, because we get so caught up in, you know, trying to just have things as quick as possible. You got to understand, you also got to take time to enjoy what's happening right now, and that, you know, God wouldn't put you in any position that you're not ready to be in. So it's all gonna come if you're putting the work behind it.
I would say just like put good energy out. That's it. Like, when things are happening negative towards you or people being negative, just always make sure you're positive, and just like you're gonna get that back.
For sure.
I feel like for me, it's been, to say the least, like, to live in the moment. Like, and I don't mean that in the most literal sense, like, oh, you know, life is short, just do you now. But more so that, like, we kind of have as humans like a tendency to think too much about what has already happened and what is to come. And I feel like that does take away from our current moment.